Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Nada Youssef, and today we're back at the Cleveland Clinic's Culinary Medicine Teaching Kitchen here at the Wellness Institute in freezing cold Lyndhurst, Ohio. And with us today we have Chef Jim Perko along his sous chef, Gabby Shipta. Thank you guys again. And with Thanksgiving around the corner, we figured we would get you some nice, healthy side dishes. Tell us what we're making today, and then I have a question for you.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make a totally vegan, whole food, plant-based holiday dressing for people that do not want to have turkey. So if someone follows a plant-based diet and they don't want to have turkey for Thanksgiving or any other holiday, but they still want to have something reminiscent of the memories when they grew up when they were a child, right?
Right.
So this is a way we could still give them some of that holiday
feels.
Exactly, right?
Okay,
some of that tradition that they have.
So this
right?
is stuffing. It's going to be vegan. How is this different than the one my mom makes at home?
Well, I'm not sure which one your mom makes at home, but when I was a kid and my parents and a lot of people, when they would take a turkey, they wouldn't waste anything. So when they would make their dressing, they would use a lot of the organ meat. So they would use the gizzards, they would use the livers, they would use the hearts in it, right? Now, organ meats have a lot of cholesterol and saturated fat, right?
Sure.
So just like, if you heard livers and foie gras, that's loaded with saturated fat. There's a lot of that in the liver, right? So we're not going to put any of that in as well.
Okay.
Also, what else is not in this mise en place?
Eggs.
Right. So eggs are considered a binding agent. A lot of people would put eggs in their dressing. We're not going to put any eggs in our dressing as well, right?
So what are you putting instead of the eggs?
So what we're going to do is, here's some egg replacement ideas. So number one, this is flaxseed, which, by the way, the bread that I used a whole sprouted grain bread that has flaxseed in it already, ground. So I already put that in there. But I want to show the viewers, this is whole flaxseed, and then you always want to take it and grind it, right, to get the benefit.
Okay.
And then you can make, by equal ratios of 1-to-1, water and flax, you can make a flax egg. That could also be a binding agent in many things. Same thing with chia seed. So this here is chia seed, okay? So what we did was we took a little bit more than equal parts of water, and it'll hold this spoon straight up.
Oh,
how dense. Does the same thing as the flax. Look at that.
Wow.
So chia seed will swell up to probably close to 10 times its weight in volume in liquid. So what it'll do is it takes all the moisture that's in your dressing and it'll act as a binding agent while it's giving you healthy omega fats and protein, loving you back.
Great.
As with the flax.
So it's only
and
water
fiber.
added on this, correct?
That was it.
Okay.
Now, if you wanted to add vegetable broth and make it more flavorful, sure, you could do that, okay?
Sure.
But you guys get the idea. So the liquid's going to do that, all right? So here's what we did. We elected to do 100% whole grain bread, not a white bread, okay? Then we want to give this some moisture, so we did it with fruits. So we got seasonal apples, we got seasonal pears, right? Then we took onions and carrots and leeks, right?
Okay.
We sauteed them.
So those are cooked.
Yeah, so straightforward, real simple, okay? We dried our bread, as you could see in here, right? We got our vegetables. And, if you notice, when things are tiny, teeny, weeny, and small, like they are here, then you'll get a little bit of everything in every bite. Before I put the fruit in, I want to just mention, look how nice this fruit looks. Now, if you take a pear or an apple and you cut it, it turns brown.
Yeah.
Right? It oxidizes.
Sure.
That's why they tell you eat a lot of berries, because if you cut a berry, it don't turn brown.
Right.
It's antioxidant, right?
Right.
Fights free radicals.
Sure.
That's what you want. But they're not turning brown because, if somebody would take a pear or an apple, like you just said, citrus. So if you soaked it in acidulated water, or acidulated juice rather, liquid, then what would happen is that'll help prevent browning. Better than that, pineapple juice.
Pineapple juice. Okay.
Because the enzyme bromate in pineapple juice is so strong. You put pineapple on your skin, you'll get a rash after a while. Hold a fresh piece of pineapple in your tongue, it'll sting,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It'll paralyze your tongue, right?
Right.
The enzyme bromate is so powerful that I did this at about 7:15 this morning. Look at it.
So you were
yeah,
soaked
I just-
in pineapple
Just soaked
juice?
it, and this is the residual pineapple juice that we soaked it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got apples here and pears here.
Yeah. So
Kinda
just think
apples?
if you're going to make
Yellow?
guacamole, right?
Oh yeah.
If I take the avocado before I put the rest of the ingredients in, I take it out of
It'll turn
its
brown.
casing, right? I put it into pineapple juice, then I put it into the bowl, then add, I get my lime juice and garlic, cilantro, jalapeno, right?
Yes.
And then I go to mix it, but just that action, it'll keep that guac good for 3 days, as long as it's covered, right?
Okay.
It's outstanding.
Okay.
So that's just another
So
tip.
you're saying you're adding pineapple juice in guacamole, or can citrus like from
well,
lime?
I
work?
would soak out when I take the avocado, and let's say if I quarter it, I'll take that quarter and put in pineapple juice, and then I put it into the bowl.
Oh wow.
And then I'll
Good
add, because
idea.
I don't want, you could add a little bit of pineapple juice. I like the limey flavor.
Yeah,
I'll
right.
add lime,
It'll be
which
too
is,
sweet.
acid as well.
Sure.
Okay.
What kind of apples we got, Jim?
Okay.
Is that
So,
Gala?
Yep,
or-
this is
okay.
Gala, organic,
Okay.
as the pear, a Bos pear. Okay. Toasted walnuts, more omega-3 in a walnut than any other nut. Toasted pecans, fresh parsley, loaded with vitamin C, right? And then we got some poultry seasoning, and we got some sage. But I'm going to take this and put it into my vegetable broth, okay?
Oh.
Because now I get a really good diffusion, right? Yeah, I didn't want it to lump up in one
Sure.
spot in here, okay? Okay, so now we're going to take that, mix all that around, okay? And then I got the leftover pineapple juice that was from soaking the fruits, okay? I would probably hold a little bit back, mix this in first to see how it comes out, And
Jim, you said poultry seasoning?
yes,
Okay, so you got poultry seasoning in there
Right.
too. All right.
and sage is in poultry seasoning.
Okay.
Okay, it's one of the main things in there. Okay, so see now I'm going to add the rest of it. That was the residual pineapple juice from soaking our fruits. Now, if you want, you can also add flaxseed. You could add the chia seed. You could add marjoram, any spice. And then the other thing I wanted to show is you could add even prunes or figs if you wanted to,
Wow.
right? That would give it some fiber. That would add some more
Texture
sweetness
too,
to it.
yeah.
Right.
Right.
So like dried apricots or dried prunes would also be good, okay?
And for our audience, if you guys have any questions for Jim or his sous chef, please put it in the comment section below, and I'm checking in here constantly.
Okay, so this is the dressing. It'll just get covered with foil, and it'll go into the oven. And then when it comes out, this is what you get.
Oh,
Okay,
we got the finished product already.
that's
Wow.
right. Okay,
So this is vegan, no meat, no eggs, right?
Thank you.
I mean, organ meats are healthy for you, right? I mean, if they're good quality with the iron, the protein. Let's talk about it, Jim.
well, it's still saturated fat,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And
is.
so, I don't want to debate science, but there's overwhelming science behind a whole food, plant-based diet. Okay? And there's a lot of strong science that saturated fat can contribute to heart disease
Sure.
and other issues. Okay? So I figured, you know what? I got 4 little grandsons, and I want to give myself all the best odds I can.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So here we go. We got a holiday dressing, okay, for those that do want to follow plant-based, 100% whole grain,
Wow.
fruits, antioxidants, everything here is going to love you back.
It smells amazing.
Okay.
So we're going to garnish it with some of that too?
Absolutely.
All right, I
So
have a question for you too.
I'm going to
Jim.
garnish it with some fresh vitamin C
Oh, here you
because
go.
parsley is loaded
Oh, I
with
love
vitamin
parsley.
C
It looks
when
so
it's
good.
fresh. Oh, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Okay.
Now, Bates on Facebook is asking, what foods help out with more fiber? What food helps out with more fiber?
Great question. So, whole grains help out with fiber. You get a lot of fiber in here. You get fiber in fruits. I kept the skins on that pear and the apple.
So that's where all the
right?
fiber is on the skin.
Oh, yeah. If you eat a prune, if I would put prunes in here, what happens when you eat a prune?
Oh,
Loaded
yeah,
with
absolutely.
fiber, and it's sweet. So you got the sugars attached to the fiber.
So it's
right?
delicious fiber. And
That's
what about the chia seeds? Those are
That's
fiber,
the way to
right?
think. Instead of just, if you were going to have sugar, why just have sweeten something with sugar?
Right.
Attach the fiber to the sugar.
Absolutely.
That's what we want to do.
That's how you want to eat sugar anyways.
That's right. And you want fiber because fiber puts good bugs in your belly,
Yes,
right?
good bacteria.
Gives you a good, healthy microbiome.
Yes.
That's what you want, right?
Sure.
And so this will love you back.
Okay,
Everything in there
great.
that you want. Fruits and
Perfect.
fiber. Okay?
All right.
Not to mention healthy omega-3s if you add some of that in there, which I
Yeah,
got
that's
flax in
fiber
there.
too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good. So now the next one, we'll just leave this on the side here. Okay. We'll keep that there.
Now I know we're doing a rutabaga, carrot, and is it sweet potato mash?
Yes.
Okay, and then I have a question from Jacinta. What is rutabaga? And I was going to ask you the same question.
Okay.
It looks
So
interesting.
the easiest thing to probably to describe of it, think of it as a yellow turnip. Okay.
Yellow turnip. Okay.
Yeah. It's actually part of the cabbage family, but it's consider it
Okay.
as a yellow turnip. Okay.
Okay.
So, and when I was a kid, I was raised on these things, man. And then I would give it to my kids, and I certainly give it to my grandkids, okay? And actually what we're going to make here, I'm even going to ask Gabby, maybe if you could really hook me up the food processor on that table. I'll show them how not only you could take this exact recipe that I'm going to do, it makes great baby food, okay?
Oh, baby food.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
So
Great.
let's talk rutabagas.
Yes.
Okay, naturally occurring sugars. If you made soup, vegetable soup, or even chicken soup, whatever you made, you put rutabaga in it. Oh, it's so good. It's delicious.
So it's sweet.
Oh yeah, there's
Okay.
a lot of. If
I'm
you
thinking that
roast them,
tastes
they're
like a
sweet.
potato, but it doesn't.
If
I'm
you
guessing.
here's the rutabaga that was cut up. This is what
Okay.
it looks like right there. Okay. So now when you go to buy this, when you're going shopping for a rutabaga, okay, and you see this from afar, and you see it where it's got a nice sheen on it, that means it's a fresher rutabaga because this is covered with wax, this one,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Now, if you get up close to it, and if you see you got white spots like this here, and like it's starting to do here and over here, right there, here and here, that means the wax is starting to lift. It's losing moisture, okay? It's actually shrinking a little bit.
Okay.
It's an older rutabaga, so if you see white from afar, I wouldn't pick that rutabaga.
Okay.
When they're firm and heavy for their weight and size, when they got a nice sheen on it, and you don't see a lot of that flaking going on,
Yeah.
it's a solid, fresh rutabaga.
Okay.
So you could see, here's the wax. Look, see my fingernail? See how I'm getting all the wax? Look at
So
that
is this
wax.
a bad idea? Is this a bad rutabaga?
They do that to keep it fresh.
I see.
Right. That's
Right.
why they do that.
Okay.
Now,
Not an idea.
some stores will sell them with no wax.
Okay.
And this is one that has no wax.
I see what you did
Okay?
here.
So you could get them both ways, all right? Well, if you get most of the stores that you'll find, almost all of them are waxed.
Okay.
And then when you go to cut these things, that wax will stick to the knife. Best
see.
way to get it off, run your knife under hot water, and you're good to go.
So this is what you're showing us here is a bad example of what to pick and a good example.
Well,
of
no,
what to pick.
these
Is
are
this-
both good
'cause this has the
examples.
white stuff that you just mentioned.
Well, that's
right?
wax. This keeps it fresh. But
Okay.
this is still a good rutabaga.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong. Both of these are good examples, okay? This is a good one because it's younger. It's not old. When the wax lifts and comes off and you start seeing all these white spots like
Right,
this here, if you
right.
see a lot of white, then that means the wax is lifting. It's older.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so
Great.
when you go to take it, see, we're going to cut the ends. Now, what I want to show everybody, see this line over here? From here to here, this outer line has bitterness in it. So when you go to peel it, right, you're going to take it, and I would use a knife to peel it. Now, if you could see, I stay below that line. The analogy would be it's almost like the pit on citrus.
I see.
So if you had an orange, the pit is bitter.
Right.
It's kind of like the same deal,
Okay.
right? So then again, when I go to peel it, see? I get below that line. I could see exactly where I'm going, okay? So that's the rutabaga, okay? Now, and then if I did it with this one, the wax that I just peeled off with my thumb, you'll see it stick to here. Best way to get it off, just run it under hot water. It'll come right off. Okay. So now we took our rutabaga, we took our sweet potatoes, we took our carrots, and then you could use water or you can use vegetable broth. If you want to fortify the flavor, I would use vegetable broth. So that's what I did. So here's what we did. We're all cooked, okay? Now, here's what happens when you do this, okay? And a rutabaga will take about 3 times longer to cook than a carrot. So you could do it sequentially, or you put that in first when it's almost tender, then add the other vegetables.
Okay.
But look what happens. This is jumping with flavor. So now to give this a try.
I always have to try. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I mean, jumping with flavor.
Wow.
Jumping with
Did you
nutrients.
add salt to this? So good.
Isn't that good?
It's very, very flavorful.
Yeah.
I mean, it tastes like this is like a soup I would just eat by
It
itself.
is outstanding. Exactly.
good.
Oh, yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you for that.
Okay, sure thing. So now, okay,
good.
we're going to strain this out. And you could see, you could see there's some thickness to this juice as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, so actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the juice in here. Okay, and I'm going to put this in here like so. Okay, thank you, Gabby. All right, and then we're just going to take a masher like so, and we're just, now, I guess there's a couple things you could eat it just like this.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't have to mash it at all, right?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'd keep it in that broth.
Or
actually.
some
I'd
people,
just make a soup.
well,
It's really good.
I'm going to, we're
Put
going to
some
come to
muscle
that.
in it, Jim.
So, man, I'm so glad you mentioned that.
About muscle.
You just reminded me.
Oh, good.
So everybody, this is so true, and I would lobby all the docs here at the clinic about this.
Yes.
When you make a meal, right? Everybody says, I don't have time and da-da-da-da-da. When you make a meal, you get aromatherapy,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And you get a lot of functional exercise.
Yes.
When Gabby washes these pots and pans later,
A lot of
she's
dishes,
scrubbing
yeah.
and cleaning. She's getting
Yes, she
functional
does.
exercise. When I'm doing this,
Yes.
I get functional exercise. When they study all the blue zones in the world, in Costa Rica, in Greece, in Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, Loma Linda, California, all functional exercise.
Wow.
That's the story behind the blue zones. They have the most centurions in the world, the blue
Wow.
zones, okay?
Wow.
Yeah, so look, we're just going to mash it. Functional exercise, right? Okay. Now, you can leave it coarse like this. Notice I didn't put the juice in when I did it because I don't want to splatter everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you get it pretty much to where you think you'd like to serve it, and everybody's different. Some people just like it a little coarse like so, right? Now you could add some of this back, right? And gently mix it in. Now, see? Look how nice, right?
Wow.
I'll just need a spatula to scoop it in there. Yes, please. Thank you, Gabby.
Jim, Jennifer from Facebook wants to know how many servings does this make? And let's talk about both because I'm not sure which one she's talking about both sides.
Okay, so the servings for the dressing, all right, will make 14 half-cup portions.
Wow.
Okay, get the rutabaga one and they'll see. And it says on the recipe that you posted has
Perfect.
a serving
Yeah, we just
size.
posted that as well.
Okay.
Jennifer, thank you.
So now, here's our mash, okay? And I'm going to put a little bit in this bowl so you guys could see what it's like, okay? Or,
Smells amazing.
yeah, but I'm going to do 2 things. I want to show you that. Oh, and so this one here, you get 6 half-cup servings.
6 half cups. Okay.
But
great.
I want to do this.
We have leftovers. This is not all of it.
Okay, so we're going to do this. Plug in there, Gabby. Thank you. All right. Now, for those that have, infants in your household,
Oh yeah, we're talking about
and
baby
you
food.
want them to partake,
Yes.
which by the way, that's another thing I want to mention. So as I mentioned, I have the grandchildren. If I don't do a turkey or if I do something like that, I'm creating new traditions.
Yes, absolutely.
So when you do this, they're part of your new traditions
Yes.
as well.
And they're getting to eat the same food, and you're mashing it. And this is so sweet. It is so, so good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I have a Friendsgiving coming up on Saturday, and I'm not going to make mashed potatoes. I'm totally going to try this.
Oh,
But I
this
want to
is
ask
so-
you, the rutabaga, is that like, I know it's kind of a silly question, but is that like by the potatoes, or where do I find that at the grocery store?
So a lot of times you'll find it like where the squashes are.
Okay, by
right?
the squash.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll find it where the squashes are, sometimes where the onions are. All the
Okay.
stores are different. Sometimes they got them in bins, sometimes they got them on
I've
the
never
top.
dealt with it, but
Yeah,
this makes me hopeful.
So now this was pureed, okay? This is totally great baby food, and you get to have some baby food.
I'll take baby food.
Yeah. Isn't that
If
good?
baby food tasted like that, I'd be all over baby food all the time. This is amazing.
Loaded with carotenes. That's what we want, right? Okay. So.
I love this.
Yeah. Oh,
This is
yeah.
amazing.
So you got many options. And then if you wanted to put in parsnips with this, you could. You could add beets to it if you could.
This is
The
amazing.
key is that when you saw the thickness of that liquid and the color, so when
Yeah.
you take it, all these vegetables, that liquid is reducing down, 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 down. So if you make vegetables for Thanksgiving, broccoli, whatever, don't throw the water away. Keep it. Use a skimmer. Can you get a skimmer so that they could see what it looks like? You take all these vegetables out, right? Now that liquid is reducing down, 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 down.
All the nutrients.
and
you're
it's
putting it
getting more
back.
concentrated
Yes.
in flavor.
Yeah, yeah.
And and I'm in the flavor business. That's what this is all about,
Oh, yes,
right?
you are.
And if I tell people love what loves you back, you want to love your food, right?
Absolutely.
You want to enjoy it. This is a skimmer. So you could take out your rutabagas and you could put in another
Oh.
vegetable, whatever.
Okay.
And meanwhile, that liquid is getting more and more enriched
Yes.
with flavor and nutrients. It's like a vegetable broth. It's delicious. You're
And
creating
you're calling this baby food. I would call this a vegetable dip.
Oh,
You
it's
know?
yeah.
Honestly, you can dip like some celery sticks with
It's
this.
total, exactly.
All right, so Gail has a question. Is that equal parts of carrot, sweet potato, and rutabaga?
That's what I did, but you don't have to do that.
Okay.
You could, if you like it sweeter, you could put in
I'd
more.
keep it this way,
Yeah,
Jen.
well, it's
this
delicious.
Is
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
I wouldn't change this recipe.
It's outstanding.
All right, so let's tell them the little surprise we're showing them here for the holidays. What are we doing?
Yeah, so I'm not going to be here. Oh, and by the way, when you have your cutting board, see how I got a wet towel under it?
Yeah.
You always want something wet so your cutting board doesn't slide.
Doesn't
You put
slide.
something wet,
Great.
won't slide on you. So you always want to do that, okay?
I love the techniques we get
All right.
with your show, Jen.
So I did this once before, and I was debating if I should do it again, but I thought, well, maybe there's new people tuning in and whatnot. And we're not doing, last time we did one in December, we're not doing a Facebook Live this December. So I thought, well, this will be the holiday gift to share, which is also the other component of mealtime. So I mentioned
Yes.
we had aromatherapy,
Right.
mentioned the functional exercise. This is the hospitality component. That
All
you took the
right.
time to do this for me, setting the table, so on and so forth, right? Okay, so we got a piece of foil here, right?
We didn't have foil the last time, did we? I don't remember. the
No, we
foil.
didn't,
Okay.
okay? So this time I took, now you could do it without foil, but if you do it with foil, it'll be like a starchy napkin,
I see. Okay.
okay? So now we're folding it in half again, like so, right? So consider it like making an airplane, okay?
Okay.
That's what we did. So look, I'll start from scratch. Look, see? We got it, open end, we take it, foil's inside, we go like that, right? Just like making a paper airplane. Finger in the center, right? We're going to go down like so, okay? Like so, like so. Just like making a paper airplane. We do the folds again, okay?
Wow.
So we fill in half, and then again, then we go like this, right? So it looks like that. Now we're going to turn it upside down. The top end goes up. The bottom end we're going to tuck inside this little sleeve like so. And here is our elf shoe that
Oh,
you
it's
could
an
have
elf shoe. That
for your
looks
holiday
amazing.
table.
Yeah, that looks
Okay?
great. Now can you make me a monkey?
No, that one I'd have to work on. So, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes.
Love what loves you back. And I'm so grateful that I get to do culinary medicine at Cleveland Clinic. And
Yeah.
blessings to you all.
Thank you. And we
Yeah.
are very thankful for both of you.
Yeah.
It's been great, very warm, heartwarming. for Bob behind the camera, and everybody watching, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, and we'll see
Yeah.
you again next time. Bye.